Today, inside the program Good Morning Salon, we will look at the role of communication, innovation, and technology per national development. And in the second term of President Bio, he separates the Ministry of Information and Communication and creates the Ministry of Communication, Innovation, and Technology. And Salima Ba, now the first minister in charge of this ministry, has almost 1 year into office. Whose role this office gets in national development? Make we get another studio this morning. Good morning and welcome to the program Good Morning Salon.
Good morning, Fambul, and good morning, Radio Democracy.
Okay, anytime from now, we expect for be joined by Edmond Abu Jr. from Native Consortium. We don't follow issues of communication now the country, but we start with the Minister Salima Ba, almost 1 year into the office as Minister for Communication, Innovation and Technology. Are we done, Talek?
Thank you. I think say this 1 year into the role, I think say one, as you mentioned, in a new ministry, but I think say the communication aspect we already did it. I mean, big focus of the previous ministry, but the added elements of technology and innovation kind of enhance the mandate of the ministry. So a lot of work, whilst progression in the communication sector, and continue on the government's agenda we already don't set. But also you get the technology and innovation part. Well, we already did it, but now you don't scale them up to a ministerial level. So first and foremost, you even need to set up a team, because we not get established team in the ministry for technology and innovation. You get to set up a team simultaneously. You work on your work plan simultaneously back you deliver, because you can't say I dey wait for me all the things and they happen before the work starts. So a lot of work go into all the factors and then.
So in terms of communication, let's take one step at a time, because ministry get three aspects. Take we listen and view them through. What really do happen from where we could consider as an improvement or a value added for all users of communication.
So communication, I think, say what we talk about in general terms. Anything the country talk about communication, you talk about improving access. That means say, for me, every Sierra Leonean, no matter outside and they get access to network. You talk about affordability issues. You talk about quality of service. More talk about access. For example, inside this 1 year, we don't see actually just recently His Excellency the President will launch the National Fiber Backbone 2 completion of the National Fiber Backbone 2 project. We mean say now say we get the National Fiber Backbone 914 out of the 16 districts in a salon, which they go directly towards improving access for every Sierra Leonean, then no matter outside the day, now then districts a day. And then also in terms of improving access, one of the challenges as a government whom in the face we can to communication is even in terms of provisions of internet access in terms of government institutions. There now a huge challenge, and Fambule we do the work in our government institutions, so when they go visit there was challenges within these ministries and institutions we can't to internet. So one thing would roll out now emergency bandwidth allocation where we don't provide for over 50 institutions and then also we don't see the launch of the rural telephony project with the Universal Access Development Fund, where they under my ministry will just launch now in 5 districts. We prioritize expansion in agriculture communities, because as Fambu they all know, agriculture are the flagship of this administration. We know all man deserve internet, but obviously you get for prioritize based of government agenda, and with all the work with the Ministry of Agriculture they do for feed salon, one of the key pillars of that day now for use technology for enabling for me then do the work. But if they're not, the communities they not get access to internet, then that becomes a challenge. So they prioritize for accelerate access for farming communities, therefore more will provide and then also we ministry to work with the telcos, Africell, Orange and QCell for roll out a zero rating program. We mean say for around 15 websites we people and they use for education purposes. We don't work with them for make sure say their websites and the way you go there, you need no charge needed towards you. Like you need the cut by your data, so now free for me able to access them 15 websites, and then that's just the first phase of that rollout there. We therefore work with them for see how we dey review more websites and we not education based. We will make sure say because we just believe say websites where people and you go for go learn, they're not for either if they charge it should be at a lesser cost, but ideally we don't want to see the websites and they're being charged. So now some of them work and we don't need to do within the communication sector.
As you mentioned, communication, the communication aspect we don't already exist. We can look more into the communication aspect because plenty listeners and viewers now can relate to this when you talk about telecommunication. But the two new aspects them we add to Rana, innovation and technology. What would they talk about in terms of what you want perceived or what you want to work on in terms of innovation and technology?
Yeah, so just for clarify, even though technology new to the ministry and at this level, but Fambolengo no say technology may always be central to His Excellency the President's agenda with international development. We see through in the first time he appoints for the first time ever a chief innovation officer. He established the Directorate of Science, Tech and Innovation. Now because His Excellency the President may not say as we come to how we deliver on national development, we are able to leverage emerging and new technologies for make we enable we for do that day more efficiently and effectively. So we can technology are really how they look at digital platform solutions and services for enable government more be more efficient and effective than we consider currently all that we paper-based system there. So we do within government where you apply for anything, you get for go within the ministry, push paper around. We want to see how they introduce technology into all these phases and sectors there. So for me, make government work easier and more effective for the people, and then really the agenda towards how we use technology for that.
So in line with that, because the last host you talk about how now they try for work with all government MD for let they all able own their own database and make sure say most of the work they in line with technology system. How far your ministry don't go in achieving that?
Yeah, so that owning your database is one. So once we come first, we get for review the current existing situation, the current challenges every day. Now I mean two pressing one with current existing systems that we get all of the way now basically siloed systems. Most of them, the one they talk to the other one, which are problem for we because you get for integrate at some point, right? If you go Ministry of Finance, you get the one if miss they talk to the executor, which now big challenge. Then the other issue now in terms of data hosting. So one of the first thing that which really we think say you get for impact we don't partner with the National Civil Registration Agency because we talk about actually hosting a lot of government data, right? And we talk about citizens data. It sits at the national NCRA. So we don't get this partnership with them, which we culminated in signing an MOU, which deliver really three things. One, we work on a data exchange layer system where they build together, which effectively we then get for enable we for do now for allow different systems then for me they able interconnect and talk to themselves. For example, Ministry of Health they build this pregnant tracker app. For me you do that day you get for at some point get for need for connect and verify the person in national identification number. So with the builder system we they allow them for do that day. But then also NCRA has one of the best data centers right now in Salon within data center within the also the host data. So they work with them and then get some capacity we are available. So we don't partner with them, so then they make some of them capacity, then they are available for mobile host some critical government data. The way this mean we'll go centralize, and whilst we do also provide them with the internet allocation. I think since I don't kind of one of the best examples of government agencies working together, combining with two resources that we get for really push a collective agenda forward.
So in terms of Salon getting what it take for achieve, I mean the full component or mandate of data accessibility. I mean, let me take we through if we really get what it take for achieve most of the entire. We don't talk about they talk about technology.
So I think say in terms of Salon achieving and some of the things they would have mentioned, the critical thing they would do, but there's a plan in terms of the roadmap, in terms of the thing that what we need for achieve for really set the infrastructure and lay the groundwork for that. And then that's some of the things that we should do. So one, for provide internet to government institutions, because you know we talk about technology and digital transformation. If the ministry then not get internet facility. Number two, now the work they do, as we mentioned, now they take stock of waiting day, because you can't again they move forward. You need for take stock of the current systems the way they out within the government institutions. Then we develop a plan of, okay, first of all, what we need for integrate the one and first way day. Then now that and they go able to see the gaps of waiting left, and able then set a plan of how we be able solve and provide for the one and day. So now I make that a lot of work with Andy.
You talk about before this ministry exists or come to existence, the Directorate of Science, Technology and Innovation, DSTI, already been there. What's that the relationship between this ministry and that agency there?
Yeah, so DSTI now, which it still sits within State House, but it actually is being supervised by this ministry. And DSTI now the same as we would consider the ministry already also gets NATCA. I think that's how ministries usually work. You get ministry really set the agenda and the plan, but DSTI right now with technical wing, especially when it come to building some of the essential government solutions and services, and DSTI and our technical wing for some of the work then. So we work with them closely and
in the area of technology, you make mention about government ministry, department and agencies there. Apart from that, what are the focus of this ministry again in terms of ensuring that technology be the center stage of national development?
Apart from working with the MDAs, a critical point also in terms of digital transformation as citizens. You know, you can't talk about, I think so you talk about digital transformation for government, not to just governments, they use their system there. So if governments roll out a platform for how you apply for your license, how you get your passports, not to just the government get for user, the citizens get for interface. So a lot of work as well they go into preparing citizens for that future day. We can to digital skills, we can to computer literacy. So even right now, ministry they roll out a ICT training program where they go on. I think so then just complete Freeton. By the time we complete, we're gonna do over 10,000 young people and over 100 or so entrepreneurs. And then I really again whilst for now the target young because get for start then with Dandy, but we also get for get program the way they roll out for a more higher level in terms of citizens, because we think say you also get for capacity for me they able interface with them platforms and
in line with the information communication and technology program we talk about, we soon had to go na school but we talk of ICT for the young age. They are waiting exactly on the gate to them in terms of knowing about ICT.
So about preparing them. Because some people are like we only begin touch computer there where we don't until reach the college level, and then the ways you do that and you're starting way back. We believe say if you really want to talk about this future of salon where digital transformation are the norm, where computer literacy are the norm, you get for beginning with them people there so right at the young age and for capture them. So not to way they don't big back where they go begin try for train there, you get for begin train there from maybe the young. So then in the training we see they kind of roll out right now.
In terms of that training, for begin make let them know how for begin use the basic things that we get for do with ICT. On as well they provide the facility or things we go make whatever knowledge on other impact to them, then go able for continue for land.
So one of the priorities we get first of all now for provide internet access in every school. Then as until we working with DSTI we try for roll out to ensure say all school and get access to internet. And one you want bridge the digital divide and you want ensure say picking and get access to the information and opportunities that we are available online as compared to their colleagues in other places. That's one. But then also with the work for see how together with UNICEF with the partner for see how we're able to ensure say schools have devices. That's another program we work towards, because we understand say not only anyway, they with them on a daily basis, they can able interact with them.
So I want to welcome we other studio guests. We in Edmond Abu Jr. Good morning, Edmond, and welcome to the program. Good morning, Salon.
Yeah, good morning, Fambulem. Good morning, 98.1.
Okay, today we topic of discussion communication, innovation and technology and the role we get in national development. You now want civil society willing to follow the issue of this area we discussed today, especially the communication side. We'll look at the broader aspects, then three big terms here: communication, innovation and technology. Whose role you think then get in national development?
Yeah, I want to tell 98.1 thank you. I want to tell the minister thank you. I think firstly we need to tell President Bio thank you for way they empower young people, at least as we see with minister. Now a young person may not ever meet to it. I think this is not the first time. But I think we need to tell the president thank you for like even get the bold step for bring young people into ministries, sophisticated ministries like this. So of course the native consortium will not follow. We don't do something on telecoms, on communication. I remember way back in the days of Pakaba, it be one package because this ministry will not be ever split from 1961. Now only of recent, now we don't get communication, don't can one component, the information of one component. So I think for the topic for today for Famulem, we not just we look at from three broad: communication, technology, and innovation. So well, Famulem, for the purpose of our listeners, communication we know say that for the I think on the issue of technology and innovation, let's handle that first one. I think for assess over time we not just limit them. I think Salon now improve, and of course for this last 1 year, the minister talk, we don't do a lot of giant leap step. I remember when you look at the Human Development Index where UNDP they publish every year, with one of the indices they talk about maternal mortality rate, infant mortality rate. Now of recent we don't see in fact I think this not last week or so the ministry don't under the technology they don't publish one, they don't make a platform they call press track. Well, I'm very much impressed about that thing there when I try to capture pregnant women, because now if you see come out belle woman for go to hospital, then go for begin look at a file who say this and that, but now they get a platform now who say as you go no more they for track you who say belle day from the time you get belle to the time who stay for born, all land their things done they find out like I just want to put that into context. Like for instance the education, that just take two ministries, yeah, who say improvement don't take place. Education for instance, today we all know we want for access your result, you get for go through WAEC. Sometimes if they come on as anama volunteer, I go for wakate go and that, but now with your phone you just go, you track, you know your result, you know that. So all of this, I think this is nothing that we need for celebrate as a country. You understand? That we don't make a giant improvement, and then they get for deal with technology and innovation. This is not innovation in this. You understand? This is not just like one among the many other things. For instance, with even the being a farmer, we even expect for instance, we need for transform the so into the farming environment, climate change. For instance, the farmer way for know the climate, like you bring the climate, Madam Minister, the weather forecast, for no say okay from this time to this time, you know, like you're gonna adjust come Ghana, you're gonna happen like Kenya. They don't digitize the side and there. So I think this na side where I think the minister get for look at for let them digitize. For instance, if you want for know me farm now, they do program with Ministry of Environment, so they do tree planting. You want for track me farm. You can see don't also you track me farm na Bonko Miami na Port Loko district. Then you know say okay na so na this the effect, you know. So I think we don't make improvement. I just want let people to understand over the years or over the last 1 year. But also we don't really like I don't just share out on a report what we do just after we do, I think just after me incarceration January over the communication where I think the good number of people na yanda really na they people are really interested. You understand? For long no waiting really usa don as a nation. I think as a nation, I hear Madam Minister they talk about the fiber backbone. You know, this fiber na thing where we don't do behind the government from the days of IB Cabo. Remember, way back. You see, where they tell the government say the fiber still up the tick in all land because when we talk about fiber, now two things if we're able for if we solve. One, you get for solve the issue of tariff, you get for be cheaper. Then number two, the issue because we talk about fiber optic fiber, you understand? And the World Bank, the Bruno, they spend a lot of money from the days of the APC. Una know, very boko money. They go say, oh, they don't land now. We get the best. This, that. The connect. But you find out say the network connectivity because from that terrestrial, where they come out from that satellite connectivity, it bring come to the terrestrial. If we're able to make sure see the internet access, for slow like woody lorry.
Okay.
Then you find out say if the tariff get for cheaper. So yonder. So native consultation we don't do.
Will they only they quick?
Will they go for a short break? After that, we'll come back to you, Edmond Abu. Before we go for that break, if we the key on our finding and data, we share them to the public. Go ahead.
Yes. So I don't follow this telecoms or communication because the layman out there go the one for know waiting government don't do and waiting at the improvements if one for really put into context. Said the last 1 year. Well, I put on this way, what we do with research, this is nothing that will be abused in a court. This is not a thing that like after the court case I can publish and I can get anybody, including the minister. Now, for instance, in 2017, we get 396 users. In 20, done at the one that they use data. The one that they use data, I don't send them to owner. Then in 2018, a leap from 317 to 2070 get 396,000 Sierra Leoneans where they gave access to data, use that. Then in 2018 it leaped to 916,000 in 2018. Now in 2019 it come up from 916, it go to 918.
The Edmond Abu then result here really give their analysis here on databases now through which way and form where you able to access and get them.
Well, of course, this is not in the way we go out there in the field. I remember way back in the days of Momo Conte, so rest in peace. You understand? They give you a lot of things. We do a whole lot of research before ever we go court. We'll get that from consumer survey, with perception survey. Some be qualitative. We send people out there, get a sample across the 16 political districts. Because where you go to court, you get for be really prepared. This is nothing the way. You understand? They will look at even the international. There's international body they access all countries on internet users, the data users, number of people and internet access, affordability, access, and what have you. That's what the minister be say. So you find out say, and you get drivers. Not to just move. You get driver. Now we put it in bar and pie chart. So you see the trend. You understand? In 2020, the internet users leaped to 1,990,000 users. Then you find out say in 2021 it go further up. Waiting at the drivers, you find out say one the tariff. Now one way because it's somebody for access some, it's somebody for buy cheaper tariff. You understand? Then it means you understand it means more people they use them. Then you find out say even the expansion, the mobile company they save the trial. For instance, before then 10 and day, you find out say they get something like about 3 point take Orange for instance. Who count them poll across the country. They begin something like 3 to 400. Now as it speaks, they get more than 500 towers. For instance, then bond they had to each area. So the more they expand, now the more you get more users.
So at this stage, in terms of communication, we get to do with everybody. I mean, which you go say,
well,
more has been done or they need?
Yes, yeah. Like just if you just seconds. To 2021, it go 2,390,000. To 2022, it go to 2,674,000. Slight improvement. From 2022 to 2023. It fall, and in fact we go further for disaggregate the figures then based upon the number of users, man, woman, youth, that. So you find out say between 2022 to 2023, from 2,674,000 users, internet users, it dropped from the time where they arrest Edmond Abu that much to the time where they increase the tariff on data by 100%. You find out say you see some money then that data be the sutra people now. You see the youth there, them young people they go on TikTok, nonetheless it drop considerably, and that drop they imagine from 2,674,000 people users there You understand? It dropped to 1,849,000.
That for us, yeah, from when
2023 alone.
Okay.
So if I not say there is a drop, big drop by more than by almost like.
So when are the
40%.
causes of that of the
The
drop?
cause of that because the data, for instance, that you know, not say after we lost that case, the tariff, I'm not gonna blame the minister for that. The tariff, they increased the tariff on data. You
Who is
understand?
it them? What are you refer to?
I'm talking of the NATCOM.
Okay.
NATCOM and telecoms. Now, not to be no secret. Everybody know the complaint was all over. In fact, I believe Panemba Road where I now say, oh, they don't increase. So it bites all over the place, complain all over the place. So that's in the area of communication, because when you talk about communication, like where the Madam Minister they talk, you talk about access and affordability. So on that area, the government not do well it, and it don't go very badly. And I think say the government needs to make sure see how they can able to revamp that area. Because Nayanda, anybody they listen to anybody where they talk about communication now, we go talk about all the other gains. You understand? Like we don't list the other gains. But when it comes to telecommunication access, like for instance, I go recently in Liberia. Let anybody go Liberia. You find out say the young people they use the voice tariff more than the data. Why? Because someone know for the online 24 hours. So if I not say that young person they online, they on TikTok for like 12 hours, you need they on 12 hours again. If I not say that, if it affects students them, if I want any bigger implication, it affects students them, college students. If it's secondary students, when they able for like for instance,
Yes, go ahead.
yes, like when they want to do the assignment. Because for instance, some students go tell you say when they give that midnight something, how you call that midnight where they get access that cheaper tariff where they give. You understand? Then they say if I not say then cut. If I not say at some point they give cola. Remember that cola they say again they cut. So when you look at, I don't go at the graph. I don't look at the graph. You know the optics not that good. Like for instance, when you talk about the voice tariff from 2017 or March, we're gonna the Bintu money along with Momo content. May so rest in peace. You find out say they pull out for 410 to 610, 650. I mean 410 euros per minute to 650 euros per minute voice tariff.
So as it is now, how much the voice tariff they according to una research?
They don't increase and by I think 1,200. So you see the leap. So all landed they reduce the access and the users.
What about
the voice? You know, now two type wait log put with the top of voice tariff where they go hello hi. That ordinary call, regular call, a voice tariff, and the law get on straight force, yeah. That ordinary call, they get data tariff, they get text tariff. Now 3 type of tariff. So when you look at all tariff, your text is still people then still a text. But if I not say the voice tariff is still a go down, the number of people already they make calls now. If I not say so man, hey, hello, hi, fep, before they marry, it will pop down. You understand? The data back as you see you subscribe. Well, waiting really don't subscribe people access. If we sell get one thing and call that weekend, where I think for 1 week 50 instead don't boost the internet users a little. You understand? Then you find out say Orange Chef get you. So on the whole, we campaign communication for the last 1 year, Salone they do well.
Okay.
I can say this dispassionately without any.
What about the quality when the minister mentioned say them focus now for improved access, affordability and quality? You don't talk about access, affordability. What about the quality of education?
Good question. Now on the issue of quality, well much improvement not take place but at the same time not do because you get network penetration. The network penetration by the mobile company don't improve by percentage, then get them parameters, you understand? I don't give you the exact one because you go say Aaron go give this, Afisel go give this, but at the same way call independent expert, they give you different. But the internet penetration, the network penetration, it don't improve. Now you talk about the quality. For instance, quality you get different parameters, native constituent they look at, and one for instance drop calls. For instance, Saptu go there, a not of Manchester supporter, then put you before them. So then one imam go tell you say, Imam, pastor, where make call. The bring back tone that tumbade you don't chaka that tumbade you understand not to tell and they give a ring back to no now they just put on that. I imagine one imam they call somebody call one the imam and the pastor that tumbade then they ring back tone. So the moment I come in they continuously why? Because of regulation. So now these are the things we make we join not compare that court case now because we get weak regulation problem. So on the area of quality of service, you understand? Slight improvement, but they need to do more. For instance, like you this other one, the issue of cybercrime. Somebody go just sit down and call substitute. You don't win this. You don't do this. You don't. Then they shinka people them. You understand? Then they don't drop considerably over time.
Okay.
You understand? That cyber crime, you find out say them command the way they use we gateway. Then they over time NatCom don't try on Dandy because you find out say, well, I don't know if that because Bokuma don't fit by the map now. Say so you know, just call Sapti, you know more, you don't win this, then so you give this. so yanda now they really so the issue of regulation is a problem.
Okay.
By NatCom. You find out say over time we need to see like who see on the Momo Conte, me say on the KTB, then fines them. We never see fines there, and it's still not improve.
Okay.
Until you begin making them fines there, I do some of the fines that they embolden them because when they knock them the fines, now they can't collect them back home. So regulation is a problem. NatCom need for opening game.
As in line with this particular topic what they look at, let me take another story. During the manifesto launch for SECA 2023 general election, President Bill will make technology and infrastructure as one time big game changer. We make a say a want for user sector for improved economic growth. How we don't tell like 1 year down the line since President Bill make this commitment. Radio Democracy, Cheno Jalo put this report together.
Today, fellow SFPP members, I'd like to summon that faith and zeal as I mark the start of my re-election campaign by launching the People's Manifesto 2023, titled The New Direction, Consolidating Gains, and Accelerating Transformation, to continue the work we have started 5 years ago.
President Bill present a manifesto to people in Kenema district ahead of the June 24, 2023 general elections. This manifesto now will President Bill been described as game changer. We mean say this manifesto gets answers them to all the challenge them we people face in the country. As this manifesto gets 5 key focus areas them, where one get for do with tech and infrastructure.
The fifth initiative is a technology and infrastructure program to serve as pathways for sustainable economic growth. Fellow SFPP, I believe making progress in these key areas will set Leone on the sustainable path of transformational change, poverty reduction, and resilience on the face of external shock.
Feed Saloon, human capital development, youth empowerment, revamping public sector, and improve technology infrastructure. Now be the message of President Bill. 1 month to the election has been engaged about 8 million people in different parts them across the country during a campaign. But after this and the country going to election, ECSL be announced President Bill as the winner.
By the powers vested in me as the National Returning Officer, I hereby certify that Bill Julius Mada, having pulled 1,566,932 of the valid vote cast, representing 56.17% of the total valid vote cast in the 24th June 2023 presidential election, duly elected President of the Republic of Sierra Leone.
Since this announcement to now about 1 year now, we make Radio Democracy go back and check for see how far the Ministry of Communication, Innovation and Technology don't come for deliver on voting President Bill been promise people on technology infrastructure. Salima na the minister, na the ministry.
This 1 year since then, we don't launch a National Fiber Backbone 2 project. We make now say we get the fiber backbone now 14 out of 16 districts na Salon. We also don't see the rollout of the rural telephony project. So we don't launch 5 new sites then. So for each of the sites, and they approximately provide connectivity to over 14,000 people with previous economic connectivity. So we may host the first ever international tech summit. And during our summit, we launched Starlink in Salon. We go back to connectivity. The president also launched the Sierra Leone Digital Transformation Project, which is a $50 million grant. So all of them will create, and I don't go into this 1 year.
The Fritter Innovation Lab. Now some set of young salon innovators them will come together and when they use waste products them for drive innovation. I meet with Mohamed Kamara, co-founder and managing director for this lab, and ask them about voting them as innovators them think about the activities them of the ministry.
So 1 year down the line, I've seen policies being developed. I've been able to see programs and opportunities. We just saw the concluded tech summit, which brought in all of the great players in the continent, of course, within the continent. And it's created a platform where the young people can actually share their view. And then there's a platform where investment opportunities their policies are well developed that actually can fit in. I was in the room discussing around the startup policy, and we all contributed in drafting that. So 1 year down the line, it's been a great achievement, and then we see how the government is already applying innovation in policies, applying innovation in parliament and decision making, using innovation in agriculture, using innovation in a lot of our stuff. So,
but with all this, people believe say for make salon go be up, outside people go get access to communication technology, innovators them get big role for play. So I asked the Minister of Communication, Innovation and Technology, but what in the ministry they plan at this area?
Another thing also they do, Fele Tech City. The huge part of that project now for more create a home and a community for innovators. We think but ultimately innovators they need one place, because then when I get a conversation with them, the problem has been if I get me idea, I don't even know side for go. Who's the care go this idea, we potentially I go get support or take this idea from point A to point B. This is what Philly is going to be.
With this statement from the minister, I'll go back to Mohamed Kamara. We tell me about what you think about this plan. What the minister say a ministry get for them as innovators them?
I think what would be so amazing for the ministry is to see that they establish a network of angel investors or investors that can actually support these great innovators that we believe will change the face of our beautiful country. We also believe that they need to establish more hubs that can actually support these ideas and give them the tools and support that needed. Like the Future Innovation Lab is already a hub that supports young innovators with whatever idea stage they are and supporting them with those machines and tools. So yes, establishing those networks and having those partnerships established can help really the growth and development of innovation in Sierra Leone.
The Minister of Communication, Innovation and Technology, Salima end up say the ministry don't make a lot of progress for achieve the thing them we present will be promised inside 2023, but say one challenge within the face as a sector, and the fact say finance now still challenge for the Society for Radio Democracy. Me na Chengno Jalo. The report.
From that report today, the program Good Morning Salon continue, and now we bring in the Minister of Communication, Innovation and Technology, Salima. We don't start for take we through, but before we go for that report day, you listen to we other studio guests we states points them, and one way emphasize on now weak regulation drop on call, voice tariff and other thing that you can respond to some of the concern them way Edmond Abu Jr. is, and also later you go respond to this report where highlights key challenge when I'm finance.
Thank you very much. Say thank you. I think this government not already freed feedback or comments from CSOs, but I think we also like it to be in context. With the I think most of within a mention in terms of the data and statistics mentioned 2022 and 2024, and I think actually being objective as well, I think this is one of the areas that with this ministry they look for improve in terms of how do we get real-time data, and what he mentioned in terms of they went around and they took surveys, but that's not the way you want the valid and counting every people. That goes beyond maybe you take sample sizes, right? You get forget accurate we count to that day. But I go specifically go towards the point we talk about the tariff. I think that I always can be a point of contention as soon as you talk about telecommunication. That's the conversation that's had, and rightly so. I think it's one of the essential services there, like we talk about electricity, we fambul and care about. Yes, tariff don't increase. I believe in early this year or towards the end of last year, where we may get for increased tariffs then. But I think it always happens in context. No government go gladly for just increase tariff on people because we understand how relevant that service is. But if you increase tariff, there's context. That time the we increase tariff, we've seen key drivers really go towards tariff increase. We talk about fuel, me no increase. You talk about EDSA, me no increase. You talk about the dollar exchange rate. Why all of them three they're important? We talk about internet, mobile operations. We talk about internet operations. They're built on the towers. These companies, even though they try for moving towards green energy, we get even Zood Labs with the 100% green. QCell also is moving towards it. They encourage the other two for move towards. But remember, say then 10 and the first with the one and the cam, where they install, green energy wasn't a thing. So all of them operate on fuel. All of those mast and pole sites that we see, they run on 24 hours fuel. Well, if lights not in, they run on they forget electricity constantly. So that means if electricity not there, you have to put them on fuel. So if fuel costs to increase, then they don't increase the OPEX. You talk about EDSA. EDSA back to increase. So you talk, so if the fuel not there, they get for the on EDSA. The EDSA cost as well increase. They also talk about the exchange, the dollar exchange. The dollar don't go up, which also impacts them because their service there, so they run on constant and capex, and therefore constant they get for invested there every single year, and get for change their hardware, then get for important in their in. If all of these three things don't increase, then costs don't increase, and these companies for operate then telecoms there, so these are not cheap things to do. Specifically, you talk about you want me to improve quality of service, you want me to constantly invest for putting new pole sites there, you want me to continue me to not lay off staff. This is a sector that employs over 13,000 people. If you want all NTND for happen, they have to be able to operate. So now on then consider no Madonna big.
Go ahead.
Now on then consideration and day, which was put before government, we then come as a, we get investor, you have to listen to them as well. You as a government, we get to be interest for one, the service needs to continue. But also remember, as I mentioned, these are companies who employ staff. These are not just regular staff, they employ our Sierra Leoneans as well. So if you know they lay off the Sierra Leoneans, they make them unemployed. If you also want me to continue for pay tax, which goes towards how government pay for some of the other social services there where government provide when they generate revenue. These are all on those bases the way case was made before government. But we'll not just go and increase tariff just like that. We also made a condition to say, okay, we don't listen to our concerns, so then collectively make, and we saw their numbers. They not just come back to we and just tell we say, now this is not the problem. We looked at their books. We took a look at their books, we looked at their profits and we can call margins them. That's the thing, we start with the Ministry of Finance. They not just tell we look at them book for sure, we say waiting and they talk now to say their business is significantly being impacted if we not increase. Then now we make conditions, as you mentioned before, for the longest time we don't stop them for do them, we don't stop them for do bonuses. So we make a condition, say, if we increase, then therefore bring back some of them promotions the way they mitigate to Sierra Leoneans. And that's when we see we bring back, we make our conditions say we go increase, but also therefore bring back some of the promotions there which was made. But I also think say going forward though, in general, we talk about tariff. We understand again, we don't see some other sectors, they don't count even recently petroleum. There's been some, now we get an equation which goes into informing within at the cost of a petroleum. When there's something similar also with the pioneer for the tariff situation. So no longer it will be the case when I just this conversation and can't tell we and we determine, and through the Sierra Leone digital transformation project there's a component there where we work on a cost study we can to tariff increase. So then they go enable we now for we'll get a cost study they done where they look at all the factors the way for go into tariff where we make better decisions around that. So I think say right now we don't even get the farm where they in place where they do this assessment for come out with the equation we're going forward now we get for go to use we can to determining tariff costs. But I also think say we mentioned comparatively we also have to mention Sierra Leone not the only country we don't increase tariffs over the last period. As we know, the Ukraine war we cause the increase in fuel affect all man, not just Salon. So we've not seen other countries in the region also increasing tariffs. So talk about Liberia.
Make a quick and say this one. In some time back, we see when government cut floor tariff or floor price pan date or pan tariff. One mobile company say me they sell at this price. Government say no, you get for increase and reach the other level them. When of course Salona free marketplace, we say everybody gets in price, for instance, free economy, the country they operate by. But government come and say no, we get for get floor price, no sell and less than this, you get for go up. Why is it like that? We are not left the mobile company them for sell the way they want to sell to the public.
Well, one of the things that we can decisions towards that is, as much as you also do that, you also have to protect the sector, and you have to protect the investments that are in the sector that was there before, which others came and made, right? If you come in and you extend that to completely, and you also have a protective in that company, because sometimes companies do that. They come in, then put her into way just so they can give an edge in the market, but then we don't see those companies surviving. I'll give you an example. Comium. Remember, we come in for us, free call, all man jump on Comium, but we didn't see Comium last, because those decisions made on sound business decisions, rather than just coming in and with the idea of say I just want capture, but don't fully take stock of the environment and the investments. But on that day, so that was one of the decisions. Say we get for protect the sector, you get for protect the investor, make sure the sector stable. For example, so now there was an issue. Say okay, we get floor, you get minimum and a max, so you're able to sell that. But as a government, I think there are always decisions that you're open to assess and look at and see where there might be needs to make adjustments.
We don't talk about communication technology. We can look at innovation later, but earlier we did talk on telecommunication, and one thing we did talk about now the issue of price, and you say when I come with floor price for protect the business them. Somebody listen go ask why government now come with a strategy for protect companies like Saratel, we now salon company, we go be like everywhere. We don't do salon for a very long time, but it did in dying status.
Well, them regulations they applies to everybody. It's not just limited to. They also apply to Saratel when it was in operation. But I think the issue of Saratel goes beyond that. The issue of Saratel, where it is in the current state, goes towards decisions that were made before even this government came into power, when some of its critical assets were taken away from it. But on the issue of Saratel specifically, which I don't say now, but this is actually the government they prioritize. As you know, women don't put them up for privatization, and we believe that is key, because this sector na private sector business, na private sector people are for doing to go, because now then they able make long-term plan. So you go and talk, say even the failure of Saratel goes essential to the point say it was government owned. Yeah, we don't say not to just again, not to just salon. Most countries they when we get the national telecommunications business, they run into difficulties because we government day to their business there. You sometimes make decisions that are government based and not business related. So we don't see so many companies that we get and countries that we get their own, them we don't get for privatize, which is the process, and the road government also they want to say for kickstart Saratel, you have to privatize it, and then the plan what they on right now for attract investors. Them we go able come in and take over Saratel, enable transformer, so you go able compete with the other private sector business that we inside the sector.
Earlier when you start for talking, we contest the statistics and figures we a native consortium give in terms of the people we connect to internet. For una own statistics, how much Australians they use internet?
Yeah, so a contestant just on the basis that the kind of assessments that you need to do to get accurate and valid data is a lot. So actually, again, Nana, one of the things that we would work with the Sierra Leone Digital Transformation Project, we work with the UADF. We're doing a study. We go also be one way they will updating self in real time as well. We're able to know waiting at the real time statistics we can to even the penetration outside them mobile up, because right now a lot we rely on what they tell us. Like I mentioned, so now then they tell we say na yeah and yeah they, and then they tell us na them sites they are the up. we're working on a way how we're able to get that information there for we safe. We're able to know which users then they and inside and they.
So as it stands now, we not get the data.
So we're going to rely on, like for example, I'm going to tell you about WATCA, which is the West African Telecommunication Agency, where they give you data on there. We go tell we say mobile penetration don't increase now salon by 15%. We go tell you say internet users, if you go in and say social media users, they don't increase na salon by 1 million. We able go by other people's data. All man can go by other people's data all the time.
But you not agree go by Edmond data.
Well, it's a tell me say data na 2021. So by that tell me say na 2022. 2023, but also not to that data. Say take sample sizes. That is not everybody. Instead of go admit not to all man and not go to everybody in a salon and count accurately. Instead of go admit
so as such, you not go agree with that data.
Well, no go because it's not everybody. You not count everybody.
So
it's a sample by essence means say you not count everybody. So what we want to see now how they able actually get valid information. Some people can get 2-3 phones. You can't say one and there as well. Some people can get Africell, Orange, QCell. You have to count all of those, take into account. So I just say it's go and see who say we get that data the way valid and accurate. You able count everybody and take that into account. Although I do want me to give me time talk about the quality of service. I think say that's an important
you can go ahead because
well.
Lay emphasis on that. Say
yes.
The quality of service now we need more improvement.
No.
As increments take place, the people forget waiting they deserve.
That not to something I would disagree with them at all. That's one of the things since I don't come in now. I've as a government we've also sat with the telcos to mention to them to say if people only pay, which people they pay, that even on anything there. So people have issues with the cost sometimes, but they'll pay because all man is an essential service, right? But we don't make not take it for granted. Say if people only pay, then forget what they pay for. That is that's a baseline guideline what they draw with them.
Telling them and making sure that they do the service provider them now another thing.
So I agree with you. So if we come back, I'm not going to go back to the time, but that's another issue, a point that was made. We can't all the thing really affects quality of service. Actually, to come to where the users then they go. Mass say then bill master. That mass the optimal number of people away for latch on to that mass say na X amount. But population they grow, people already get phones and when they use the towers they don't go for able then the way that means they happen if you don't pass the optimal number of people the quality they begin go bad. So for me able offset and you get for invest more into then communities there so more people they come up for build more towers so then they come then they go directly no matter on a big then they go into the quality why the quality made it go bad. One of the reasons was more people they on some of the towers then that is optimal. So you get for investing for build more. That's one. But two, we talk about we talk about for telling and one. For able to enforce and I would take slight issue with say the issue I don't think particularly is the absence of regulations. There's regulations. The issue has been absence of having a way to accurately tell and then fine. So the usual I said that there is NATCA before. No mean get equipment and then get an spectrum equipment to carry radio will go around because it's just well and good for me and you talk say able me service bad but for me not able fine you have to have a way how you quantify that and be able to levy charges on them. So one with the equipment and they can't accurately assess the level of breach the way they happen and they're able for effectively levy the fines way which I agree with that. Fining is an effective way to get people and the operators. I could tell them which we have done, but you get for able to get that mechanisms and for able to enforce her. So now with the Leone Economic Diversification Leone Digital Transformation Project, we don't get wait and call now the equipment or don't even do the assessment of all the equipment that's going to be needed. And this project is fund for me not to able buy the equipment and which will be the once the equipment and they begin on, we get way for quantify the breach then and we will levy then charges against the telcos.
We come to Edmond, but according to statistics, Salone population, they talk about 8 million people, and both statistics what I don't get about people who connect to the internet no reach 3 million. We mean say about 5 million Sierra Leoneans them depend on voice call for make them calls them according to the statistics them. If I can go by that, what are the cost of voice call per minute?
So I agree. I agree with Andy, but I'll also say the challenge is we talk about the issue of why now we get 8 million, only 3 million. It's not only solely tied to cost. No. Yes,
that question was not how most people they get access. I mean, I'm looking at the cost.
The cost to get we floor and
Yes.
we ceiling, right? I think the floor price is around 1.6 million or so. The ceiling the 1.8, I believe. But I want to drive the point around the fact we get a gap of 5 million is not solely tied to cost, not to cost to make that price that gap. No, the issue where the gap make me is I should say if you find the statistic on that, a lot of those users are in Freetown. Maybe we should see a gap of Freetown. We get the highest number we can to the network infrastructure. And I sign up with the because we don't spend so much time. I mean, we go talk about the whole sector, but since we're on the telecommunications, Freetown, you go find most waiting Freetown, waiting at the total population of Freetown, and then see almost the total population and they on the internet in an issue of cost. No?
Okay.
But the fact we talk about gap will get at the rural areas, which is where the network expansion don't go as deep. Now investment is being made, a lot of it for expand the access to the rural areas, and we don't see anything the expansion happen. The uptake they happen. I'll give just quick example. Just 2 weeks ago or last week we go Yoema, where we launched a rural telephony project where before they don't get no connectivity. The first day where we go we launch with Orange, the site day. Orange can go over 500 phones there for sale. They're sold out. Then talk to the first day when the thing go live, they saw over 1,000 calls being made. So I go make the point the fact the numbers were down. It's not tied to cost. It's tied to the fact the access nominal. We say 8 million. That's a whole of Sierra Leone. Access nominal.
Okay, because of time when they come over to
price, not the amount of people connected. We can't say more about quickly, Edmond.
You see, the thing where native consultants they suffer over time, people they see like demons. I remember when in 2004-5 during the day of Akaba, me Edmond Abumina, one of the proponents, will co-author the pricing formula will get to the fulfill. But today PRA they call for review pricing formula and they call people like Mr. Martin, people like Mr. Edmond Abu, because Edmond Abu in face ugly. You see, I want to let Madam Minister understand one thing. Firstly, you they talk about say if you know a lot assume say statistics alone they lie. Let's assume say Edmond Abu a native consultant they lie. But one person will not go ever lie. Now the ITU, where they take data of all countries. So at the publish that, at the forward to Madam Minister, I'm not doing no number. Let's watch that statistics they back. Let's see the optic. Let's know the fall. Yeah. So not take as a native consultant which they talk statistics, which they talk not to true. But one thing we very true. Now the fact say cost of data, it drive upwards, it drive users. Well, they add and so or subscribe. And wait till happen 2023. Now the fact.
Well, Madam Minister says some side and the way agree with you on the quality, and he said that they engage people.
No, I come on.
Where they provide that.
The other thing when Madam Minister talk, if I me the Minister of Finance, or I didn't any capacity, a thing like this before you increase tariff. And I let Madam Minister know this sector. I don't follow this sector for 15 years. We've never got a cost study. That is disservice to the country. How you they go increase tariff by 100% almost? The cost study. Let Madam Minister understand say before the advent, before 2017, this is statistics, cogent statistics. Then they burn something like 84 liters petrol a day. Before 2017, 2018. Madam Minister, before 2022, almost all telecommunication. Now you say they go on 24 hours electricity. Madam Minister, that's not true. That's completely wrong. In fact, check the towers. Most of them, almost all of them, they go partly solar. So if only you talk say, no, they come, Madam Minister. So go check that record first. And when you say solar, they cannot tell how much them they burn before now. And talk about hard to reach, they burn 84 liters a day, diesel, parkings or camera machines. Now you say they burn 24, not to 24 hours. In fact, we don't find out say all that British government. Electricity don't improve now from an escomite time. Are you coming?
I say then they run on 24-hour electricity. I did not say all of that is unfair.
Okay,
I said
fine.
the one day we get solar, they run on solar. I did.
Okay, Edmond.
Okay, now top of cost. Okay, now. Okay, I give you the benefit of the doubt on that. Okay, fine. I'll give you the benefit of the doubt on that. Thank you very much, Madam Minister. But one thing where I don't know, and Madam, note this, or this until I don't tell former Minister. You know they ever no country know the way they increase tariff without do custody. And the thing we don't happen at Salon, we don't ever do custody. I don't put them behind these people from the days of Pakaba. Let we do custody. The person you can't tell you say, oh, I don't spend on this, I don't spend on this. You know do custody. And how you go increase? And when you increase tariff, you impoverish the people. Who are you protecting here? We dey talk about floor tariff. Floor tariff no dey benefit nobody. Me and Musa dey Budov Court Market. Musa say they sell your own fish 5,000. Me say they sell me own 10,000. Then regulate. Then city council bought and I say no, sell at 10,000 by force.
Okay.
What are they protect? And at the same protection, this Madam Minister, we dey talk about Sierra Leone. We no go ever be. It go be unjust on all sides. This like let we search your conscience as Sierra Leoneans. Why all the telecommunication they thrive? Sierra Leone thrive. It's simple because there is a conspiracy. Sierra Leone on CDMA. Sierra Leone will just come out from CDMA. Can a GSM like compete? People then gang up against Sierra Leone. Now, to say Sierra Leone, they don't life support.
Okay.
So, no wait. Let's not know this, please.
We need to go for a break. You
Now,
can land later,
so,
please.
Yes. So, do ya? Me at the big, Madam Minister. Do this custody in your own time for once. So let the person no can do.
Say we don't get contract. We're on the custody.
No, yeah,
so
but
I don't know if you know
that side then I be wrong. That just like come to toll road. Yes, just like come to toll road. Now people in can yes, people come to toll road. You don't know how much the Chinese money they get. They increase the toll road up to now. Nobody know that the country almost they don't collect. So for me, going forward as a country as a government, let we check the investment there. So we going for know who they protect because government is about the people.
Still at the studio, Minister for Communication, Innovation, Technology. We don't talk about communication, we don't talk about technology. Look at the innovation. What did happen at this space since you take over the mantle of leadership?
Thank you. I think we talk about innovation. I want to mention say technology and communication. SSF na innovation. So really, innovation should be the all-encompassing we can't do that in there. So and we don't see even within the communication, we don't see innovations that we don't carry with inside there. For example, the launch of Starlink in Salon, where they bring satellite connectivity to Salon. That's an innovation. But within this sector, yeah, so we think really the government's priority has been now how they bring together the innovation ecosystem and community. Also the priority now for family and don't see young people and in a salon we get solutions there for some of the national challenges they also they face. How we able to support and invest in the young people there so for take the ideas then from ideation and turn out to commercialize businesses. So and then that way the government may not do through the SDI, but obviously now we can to ministry we try for scale them up to a ministerial level. So one big thing where we don't do under innovation during this time, yeah, so now for host the first ever international tech summit in Salon, we bring together because that's one thing for me we do. You need to bring together the whole ecosystem. Also, we invite some of the international players there, so we did in this space. For first of all, as a community, we come together, more suicide we did, but we also discuss what's the way forward in terms of how they really progress this. We had a lot of over 3 days. We'll host this conference between the 11th to the 13th of June. We had the innovators then as alone. We had the tech companies then as alone. We had the ISPs. We had the CSOs. We had the incubator hubs there within us alone. They were also invite in some international partners. For example, when we get Meta, a representative from Facebook, when we get Salon, when we get representative from Visa, when we get representative from Sony Music Publishing, when we get representative from Google. So really what I'm what in the government me want showcase now for talk say first. Sierra Leone wants to establish itself as a global hub where can to innovation. We want show say and showcase say innovative ideas and solutions in our salon where potentially we can able scale up. We can to not just with national development, but we to come to regionally towards Sunday. We may get over 100 young innovators which showcase their ideas them over the 3 days. We also may get an agriculture innovation challenge where we may see 6 people them end up compete, then carry the all and different solution the way they don't develop we cancel the feed salon initiative them, and at the end we see 3 people end up win. We see the first grand prize winner we win His Excellency President Bio Innovation Award of $30,000 where the president personally provide, because as we call and the father of innovation at this town now this country. If salon they talk about tech and innovation, we believe say that that's something you can only attribute to His Excellency the President, because now through in government we don't see how that has been centralized as part of the National Development Plan. We also get the second place winner, we win $20,000, and the third place winner, we win $10,000. Because and this money not for just make them go away and then go spend and enjoy. And this is the investment what they make into the solution they are so with the showcase how they able get their solution they are so and drive to the next stage. Who they think of scalability at the country. So and also lots of other critical things that will come up from the Tech City Summit. We see His Excellency the President officially unveil the Fele Tech City initiative, and we get for set up now bow, and really that is the flagship of the government agenda. We cancel innovation. We're creating a home specifically for innovators, a space society they can able go where you talk about how they want anybody will get innovative ideas, so they will go. We go think about issues of access to finance. We talk about issues of mentorship and support, and how they would drive some of them things, and they so that night about.
You don't talk on the innovation aspects up to you. They don't send messages them 0779819. Look at the key one them and.
Okay, and this first message you are going to take inside the program, they say, Madam Minister, are you following the way network is going during this rainy season period? Most of the telecommunication companies are not doing justice to their customers.
This one say, how can you link innovation and the feed salon program?
This one on the Kongotong story from Mystic Nazwazak, they say, so sad to hear about the death of the young man in Kongotong community. It is extending sympathy to the family.
This one, they say, what's the status of the Tech City, Madam Minister?
Another one, they say, Madam Minister, Sierra Leone should be in your heart, not your personal interest. These mobile networks are currently depending on solar energy completely. The issue of light is still a challenge. I think there should be a proper collaboration between you and other ministries.
Sabti, the last one from me for now, say, Madam Minister, I would like you to call on the mobile companies to improve on their internet as way to promote access. This is from King Solo. With a message here.
This one, last one, they say, while acknowledging the government's commendable effort to strengthen technology and communications in Sierra Leone, it is essential not to know that there is still room for improvement, particularly in addressing the challenges in high internet cost. Well, with a message, and they will come over to you for you respond, Madam Minister.
Thank you very much. I think say that now a good question. The first one we can relate to the current status of the network, as something I've not for mentioned earlier. So this issue with the current situation with the network being not at the optimal is not something we tied to the mobile network. Then this time issue with the exist where they cancel the sea cable landing with an ace cable, and not just a salon problem. The ace cable they take from Portugal, they currently do maintenance at the source base, and because of that maintenance they really go on. Now make we see connectivity right now slightly shaky, and not to directly related to the mobile operators themselves, and not to just a salon problem. They go on all countries that we get that ace cable day. If Ambule remember a month or so ago, this same ace cable not to just salon day in the Liberia, that is in Nigeria, in Ghana also. There was an issue where cuts happened, where all of them countries there was affected. Liberia was out for 3 days, Nigeria, Ghana, all of these countries were out. Salon was only out for 45 minutes.
Okay.
That is because of the partnership we get and the fact that the cable. So we work on them, not to just salon problem. We work on that maintenance. We come up with and we observe them and see. And also I mentioned to Fambul and say also that is also a priority for we right now. We can't 1 year. We need another cable. We only get one cable, which makes us very vulnerable to potential challenges.
Okay.
So we work on Andy. On innovation and feed salon, I think I don't mention, and then we could see the agriculture innovation challenge. We'll see how we're able to introduce innovative solutions the way they support the feed salon program. Status of the Tech City. Then in something we don't see the official unveiling of the text. It's actually a go announce of ambulance. Say just yesterday we just got a $1.3 million grant from AFDB. AFDB we don't support the establishment of other tech city and other country there where they can help we establish the tech city. I will not think say 1.3 go for do than around just the documentations of it.
Okay. Well, briefly, please.
Okay, for improve the internet access and something where we work with them on. I think the issue of it being on solar, that is not true. Some of them are on solar, some of them run on fuel. The one that we on solar now Zood Labs and QCell, a lot of it is on, whilst others are prioritizing them to move ahead of it. I wish we had more time for go through the issues then, but I guess now that time they did for now.
Thank you very much for joining we in Saturday edition of the program for take out of your busy schedule for on our invitation. Plenty thank you for come. Salima Ba, Minister for Minister for Communication, Innovation, Technology. We can't add more Abu Junior a roundup statement as we don't go out of time.
Well, I think say in this last 1 year, a lot do happen, improvement do happen in terms of the telecoms, the technology and innovation. I think so we need for comment the government on that. Just that on the communication, the quality of service is still slow like Ude Lori. The data is still the voice tariff, if you buy Molanke. So we still expect say more needs for be done. And then of course, Madam Minister, quality of service get correlation for do with the I call them fiber. Because fiber for take care of both quality of service and of course a cheaper tariff. Okay. So if we not get that day, we still dey bien.
Okay, thank you very much, Edmond Abu Junior from Native Consortium for joining in today's edition of the program. Good morning, Salon.